just in case you didn't know.
There we go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I am recording. Well, hello there, and thank you so much for joining us. This is David Gonzo Mamano. So happy to be here today. People ask me, why Gonzo? And if you don't know yet, Gonzo was my nickname, my fraternity name actually in college, University of Buffalo, which is the Ivy of New York State. And that's what we call it anyway. But yeah, that was my nickname, Gonzo. And so people still call me Gonzo. I like it. So there you go. But anyway, I have somebody on the show today with a really great name, and she just taught me how to pronounce the last name. And I'm really excited because you're going to feel her spirit, her soul, her sweetness. I felt it on the first email when we were introduced from a nice guy named Pat McGovern, and very excited about doing some great things in the world. So I do want to introduce to the show, to the Gonzo experience, Jamie Andrzejewski. Jamie, welcome to the show.
David, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be part of the experience and just sharing, we were recently introduced, but wow, I have been blown away by your kindness, your generosity, and the good that you're putting out in the world. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to spend a little more time with you.
Well, that's very nice. And I think it takes a sweet soul to appreciate a sweet soul. So excited. So you're in the lovely state of Wisconsin. Is that correct?
That's right. Milwaukee, go Bucks.
Yeah, you guys just had a pretty good year in basketball, right?
That's right. It was really fun. And just to see the city come together in such a vibrant and exciting way was thrilling for everybody here to watch. Yes.
And you guys hadn't won, I believe, since 1971, right?
That's right. 50 years. Yes.
50
So
years.
I know. And yeah, you can still feel the energy at the Pfizer Forum, at the plaza right outside. There are a lot of events taking place there right now. So yeah, it's a great time to be in Milwaukee. I always think it is. I think we're a hidden gem, but now more of the world got to see a little glimpse of what we're able to enjoy.
Yeah, well, we definitely want to dig into your story, but quickly for America, for the world here listening, all the Gonzo family. Milwaukee, like people, this is my opinion. People have heard of Milwaukee. Yeah. They it's definitely a city that you say Milwaukee and they're like, of course I've heard of Milwaukee, but I feel like they don't know a lot about it. So I remember growing up watching Laverne and Shirley that took place in Milwaukee, right? Did Happy Days too? I think
yes.
Happy Days, right?
Yes, Happy Days. We have the Fonz, the bronze Fonz right on the river. So
showing my age, but I saw Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley episodes, like when they originally aired, right? So and I remember that. But give us the elevator scoop on Milwaukee.
Sure, for Milwaukee. I absolutely love it. And I know they call it flyover country, but it truly is a special place. And I think with kind of the perceptions out there that really Milwaukee, people here are very humble. They are very hardworking, very kind. And it is this beautiful, vibrant place right on the shores of Lake Michigan. And we have just kind of a renaissance going on here that there are so many creative makers in this space, that there are some incredibly talented people doing really good things, not only for the community, but for kind of the larger space. And it's a really fun, exciting time to be here. And of course it's summer. Everyone is outside playing and making the most of this great weather. So we have fabulous restaurants. We have a lot of great cultural things to do, and we have just really nice neighbors and very supportive community.
That is the thing about the Midwest, especially Wisconsin. You're all so damn nice. You're almost like Canadians. Yeah. One of my very, very best friends, Stephen Westerner, who got me started in podcasting, is from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
That's right.
And he could not be a nicer guy. Right. And so Misty Lau.
Tell me the story, how you had him pick you up in Milwaukee, not even realizing.
Well, that is how nice he is.
3-hour drive.
I tell it quickly, but I went to go visit Stephen Westerner. He lives in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is on the western edge, I believe, of Wisconsin. And come visit me. And we were speaking together at a conference at Misty Lawn More Than Great Dance conference. And who's another beautiful Wisconsinian. Do you guys say that? I just made that up, but
Let's
Wisconsinite.
go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wisconsinite, but I like Wisconsin. Yeah,
Wisconsinian.
Wisconsinian.
I made that
Sounds
up.
like Smithsonian and
Yeah, we'll see if it
yes.
takes. We'll see if it takes. But he goes, yeah, you stay with me, fly in. We'll do the speaking together, and you can hang at my house for my family. Great. And apparently he told me like the recommended airports, but me knowing, nothing about Wisconsin, of course, I just flew into Milwaukee. And so he comes, picks me up, and we're driving back. And it's like a long time. We're in the car for like an hour and a half. I go, Stephen, are we almost there? You go, well, it's a 3-hour drive each way. And I'm like, 3 hours? Well, why did I fly into Milwaukee? He said, well, Dave, I recommended 2 closer airports, but you chose Milwaukee. He goes, that's fine, but he never was even going to mention anything. He's so nice, he just did it. 3 hours to pick me up,
Right.
6 hours back and forth for him. And then he also brought me back to the airport when I had to leave. So nicest guy ever, never complained about it once. And so that's my
So
experience
great.
with Wisconsinians so far.
That's right. I love it. Great story. Not sure that I would have offered the same, but
I know. You can Uber it.
I'm just kidding,
Hey,
right?
one-
Great space and time to get to know each other. But yes,
absolutely. We became more and more brothers. Last question about Milwaukee, and we're going to talk about you.
yes,
You know what Milwaukee, I'm assuming it's an Indian word. And if that's the case, what does it mean?
yes, the good land.
Oh, the good land. All right.
Milwaukee, yes, the good
Oh,
land.
I'm glad that you know that. Well, so I'm in upstate New York, and the next town over for me is Canandaigua
Mm,
City. It's the beginning of the Finger Lakes, that whole area. A lot of Indian names where I'm from too.
yes.
And so Canandaigua, in an Indian name that means the chosen spot. So similar.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yes,
the place to be, the chosen spot. These Indians were very proud of their land. No,
that's
this is
right.
the place to be. No, this is the chosen spot, right?
That's right. Smart on you for choosing that place,
I
right?
know,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So very cool. So I want to get into you and Jamie. So you have this great company that you
Yeah.
started. It's called Nourish Natural Products, and it's wellness brand, wellness products for the body, the mind, the home. I'm going to throw in the soul. How about that?
Yeah. Ooh, I love it.
But
Yes.
you're in your bio here. You talk about nourishing people inside and out through spending kindness and the message that you matter.
That's right.
And so I want to hear more about these products. I want to hear more about your journey, because I know
Yeah,
that this had been a dream of yours, and maybe for a while it was kind of a pipe dream because you have the nice cushy corporate job, which
that's right.
often traps people. But then the universe handed you a little favor, well, I'm not going to ruin the story, but you were able to start this business and leave the corporate world. Uh,
Mhm.
so, Jamie, if you don't mind, tell us your journey to become an entrepreneur. What were
Yes.
you doing before? How'd you get here? And then I really want to learn more about your products and how you help people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for that introduction. Yeah, I was laid off, right? So I was in corporate America for 20 years, and I consider that layoff one of the best blessings. I think a lot of times entrepreneurs have to choose whether to jump, and I didn't have to make that choice, right? And I was fortunate that I had 20 years of learning on someone else's dime, all of these incredible experiences within marketing, business development, and sales. So I had those experiences in my back pocket. And I have always been passionate about wellness. I have spent, I think, nearly 30 years researching nutrition, fitness, and mindfulness. And so after the layoff, and I was blessed to have a severance package, I really was able to spend time thinking about what I wanted to do next. And I really knew and felt that it needed to be something that had just deep passion and deep purpose behind it. And uh, shortly after I was laid off, my daughter received a DIY lip balm kit for her birthday from my brother and his family. And we had so much fun making the lip balm, but I didn't want her to actually use it because it was full of synthetic flavors and ingredients. So we decided to order organic everything and ended up making more lip balm than we would ever use in a lifetime. So I offered those lip balms up to a mom's group that I'm part of, and they sold in minutes. And so the marketer in me thought, oh, I make a lot of products, natural products for my family. Let me list some of those. And those sold too. And I was thrilled. And at the time, I was still trying to buy, some more space, some more time in figuring out what I wanted to do. It's getting closer to summer. And I thought, what if I set up at a farmer's market and make a little money and, enjoy the beautiful weather? And it just beautiful things happened at those farmers markets where customers continued purchasing the products. The media caught hold of what I was doing and they started featuring the products. And then retailers who were at the markets asked if they could carry the products. I like to say, just like that, Nourish Natural Products was born. I really at the time was just looking for signs and praying for confirmation, throughout this process. Was this the path I was supposed to be going down? And I kept getting it. So truly, even though I say, oh, I'll see what happens when I set up at a farmer's market, I had a pretty good inclination that this is something that had some purpose and that I could really get behind. And so early on, I decided to go full force, and I never doubted the success of Nourish. And I'm super grateful because I'm having the time of my life. We are now we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary. We're in over 75 different retail locations throughout the country. And I would like to say we're international. Speaking of the Canadians, we have
Yeah,
we
you're
have a
international.
location,
Absolutely.
yeah, location there, and then yeah, have a team of 7, and we just we've had this tremendous growth. We continue to grow, an average of 250, 300% each year. And I'm grateful for the local community, not only our entrepreneurs who are just wonderfully supportive of each other, as well as the city itself, especially with COVID, knowing that we needed support to be able to pull through that as small businesses and local makers. And wow, did people show up? So yes, 3 years in, I'm loving every minute of it and just excited for what's next.
Is it, do you have to pinch yourself to just as it grows month by month and just like the more revenue you create, the more people you're helping, right?
That's right. Yeah, it is an amazing feeling. And I think definitely when you're in flow, things happen. And when you have a strong why, I know you talk about the importance of a why and working from a place of integrity and really having a higher purpose than just profit, that people want to support you and want to get behind you, and these beautiful things happen and new opportunities come to you. And so do I show up and work really hard every day? Absolutely. I think with showing up and pouring into people and cultivating relationships, you then have this huge circle of brand advocates out there, working on your behalf, listening for opportunities, recommending you. And so while I work very hard, I wouldn't say that the process itself or the journey itself has been incredibly hard, because I think when you're in flow and you trust and you look for the good and you look for opportunities, they come. Yeah.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. So now can people buy from you directly, or is it all through the retail stores?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the plug.
Yeah.
Nourishnaturalproducts.com. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
So Nourish Natural, so they can buy from you directly.
That's right.
So let's talk about the products a little bit. Um, you know, what are, so we were talking about a friend of mine in a previous episode, Jennifer Walzer, right? So she's, was using, like most women will say, tons of makeup every day, lipstick, whatever. I don't know what they're all called. Rouge. No, I was kidding. Whatever,
Yeah.
putting a lot of stuff
Yes,
on your face.
absolutely. But you're
And
talking about 5 pounds of products a year,
yeah,
right? That we are putting on tremendous amount of ingredients on and around our bodies, and everything we put on and around us goes in us. So it's really important that we know what we're putting on and being really intentional behind it. And I loved hearing her story. I know she has some autoimmune diseases. I also have Hashimoto's. And I think from, very early on, I knew that it mattered, what we put on us. And I also know that there are tons of natural product companies out there. So for people to see me perhaps in the beginning to say, why would you start another one? Something that Jennifer talked about as well is there is a lot of greenwashing going on, right? There are a lot of products that say they're natural, and then you read the ingredient list and it
Not so much.
not quite sure about the integrity or honesty behind that statement. And so I shared with you, I had been making natural products. There were a few other companies out there, maybe one or two other companies where they were only using plants, or they were only using truly natural ingredients that I could pronounce and I knew where they were from. And so I wanted to share the natural products, that I had been making and that were working for me. And it's super important to me that everything we do is 100% clean and natural. No, nothing other than plants and water in what we do. And they're super effective. We have these incredibly beautiful rave reviews about our products. Our top sellers are natural deodorant. I know you're a natural deo fan, so got to get some out and to you and
I am. I buy Tom's with
Moms,
no
right? Yeah.
aluminum. So yeah,
Yes. So right.
and I smell fantastic.
That's right. Yes, the pit challenge, right? Yeah, anybody can, but we won't go there. Okay, so natural deodorant, a hair growth and thickening spray. We do a lash and brow growth serum, lip balms. You talked about like for the home. We have our best-selling room spray is our sage smudge spray. We incorporate healing crystals into a lot of our products. Both that sage smudge spray has black tourmaline crystals. Black tourmaline is thought to help reduce the amount of electromagnetic frequencies in a room. So all of our tech pollution is not awesome for our overall wellness. We want to increase our vibe. And anyway, crystals can help us do that, as well as we have over 40 different essential oil roller blends for physical and emotional wellness. So, and we have 3 products for dogs.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, yes.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mhm.
So, so this, I think part of the reason why you're so successful is, I've gotten to know you a little bit. You've taken a lot of what is just naturally passionate with you, because you've
Yes,
been into a lot of wellness before this. I believe yoga, meditation,
yes,
hiking, a lot of outdoors, deep breathing.
yes,
And so this kind of all ties in, which I think makes the entrepreneurial experience, more natural, uh,
yes.
because it's something that you love doing anyway, and you're extremely passionate about it.
Yes. I'm really fortunate that I am my customer, right? So I get to speak with authenticity. I use many of our products, over through our journey, we've had customers ask for us to add products to our collection, which we've done a ton of research and we've been able to introduce those. But in large part, I use most of them. So I know what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. I know the science behind it. I love educating people. I think there's a time and a place for everything, but if you can start natural and you can understand the beauty of plants and what they're able to do, all the better.
So you've been
Yes,
an entrepreneur now for 3 years.
3 years.
And so, this the beginning stage entrepreneur, maybe they just started, they're about a year into it, and they're freaking out. They're waking up at 3 in the morning. What advice do you have for them? Let's say you're sitting across the table having a healthy juice full of kiwi and beet,
That's right.
and what are you going to tell them?
Yes, yes. Have fun, enjoy the journey. I think though the success tips for Nourish, what's led us to where we are right now, which I think is tremendous growth, is that I show up. I show up all the time. And I am meeting people and cultivating relationships with people and not just looking what can they do for me, but really how can I pour into them? And I really think that I'm fortunate that I'm in a community where the mantra is when one rises, we all rise. And so show up, meet people. You're not meant to do this alone. And I also think along those same lines, and something that served me really well was to hire early. I was just a few months in when I brought my first employee on because although I started making the products on my dining room table, I knew that I wasn't going to scale the business if that's where I stayed. And so I right away brought on Heidi, who's still with us today, and she makes products all day, every day. And I should mention that all of our products are handmade. So we really, right now, are an artisan product. I'm sure at some point we'll need to look at co-packers. I just really think that you can feel the difference, with a handmade versus maybe a cold machine. But hire early on, right? And stay within your strengths. I love people. I love educating people. The sales part of it is my passion. And so I hired for the positions that weren't of interest or weren't my specialties. So I think showing up, hiring early, and then the other really big thing that we did early on was invest in some sophisticated or more elevated packaging. I really believe in a crowded space that your product and what it looks like really matters, and so that was an investment that I'm super proud of that we made right away. Yeah, but all of that being said, I believe that 50% of winning is starting, and so put your hat in the ring, show up and don't overthink things, get things out there, get feedback. I think something that is special about small businesses is that we're agile and we can pivot quickly. And it's, you're always out there seeking feedback from, definitely from your customers and just everyone around you. Always be seeking that feedback. And as a type A personality, it's sometimes hard, right? Not to be perfect or not to think you put the best thing out there. But it is, that humility and just being open to doing something in a different way that has served us really well.
No, thank you for sharing that. And I think you're right. I think Wayne Gretzky said 90% of success is showing up,
Yeah,
right? So
that's right.
show up, there's a guy that I just was turned on to, and I'm forgetting his name, Dan something. He was a little more vulgar. His was just literally said the word, but just effing do it, right? So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
so that's part of it, just taking the jump and not knowing, like, you didn't know everything that you were supposed to do when you started the company. You probably
Wow.
didn't know hardly anything, but the fact that you wanted to create a beautiful product and try to get it out, and step by step with help, work, God's grace,
That's
beautiful
right.
standards and product, and then hiring people. You got there, right? So
That's right. And there are so many resources and so many people who will help you figure it out.
yeah.
Right. And it's being open and, having a little vulnerability and just, I need some help.
Yeah. So I'm really
Yeah.
impressed that you were able to hire somebody right from the get go. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs can't do that from the start. I mean, were you bringing in that much revenue right from the beginning?
No, but I knew if we were going to make money, we had to spend money. And so probably something that was hard was that I, for the first about 2 years, didn't pay myself. And I'm not sure that that was the right decision, but I knew that there was no way I was going to grow this business with me being at my dining room table, just dropping different essential oils into a bottle. I knew that. And so, Scott and I, my husband, we knew that we needed to invest personally. Are we rolling in it? Absolutely not. But do we believe wholeheartedly that this is going to be a big thing? Absolutely. So, we freed up some cash flow and we invested in people from the beginning. And I'm proud. I have a team of 7 right now. And I do pay myself right now. And
For those
yeah.
watching this on YouTube, you there was a big smile that took over your face when you said
When I
that.
pay myself, right? Because it
Pay
feels
yourself.
good, right? Because you are going to show up and work harder than anybody else,
That's
right? And
well,
so to enjoy some of the sweetness of that, that paycheck and the money that's coming in is really cool.
well, that's a great lesson, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they do put themselves last, and there's the saying, pay yourself first.
Right,
I mean, if you can't pay yourself, why are you doing it? Like,
right.
yeah, you want to put out a great product, but you're not going to be able to do it if you don't pay yourself. So
That's right.
pay yourself first. You even mentioned that you may be waited too long. which is altruistic, but also, like, hey, listen, the old airplane tech saying, right? You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others.
Yes,
So I'm glad you're paying yourself, because it'll be much better off long term for
that's right.
the 7 employees and all your
Yes.
customers that love you and your products.
Yes, can't pour from an empty tank, right? You gotta you
Yeah.
gotta fill it up. I'm actually and I'm still working through this book, but it's called Profit First. It's by Michael M. He has a last name like mine that's hard to pronounce, but his whole thing is, the classic accounting principle or equation is you have your revenue less expenses equal profit. And he really says revenue less the profit you need equals what you get to spend in expenses. And I like just that flip on it, right? That profit does matter.
Profit matters.
He talks about or perhaps it's Greg McEwen too, who I absolutely love. He wrote the book Essentialism, and more recently Effortless. This whole thing about entrepreneurial poverty, right? Like that's not a place that I want to be in, nor do I want any of my entrepreneurial friends to be there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you that you have such a sweet spirit that, like it or not, we become instant friends. And if I'm ever feeling down, I'm just going to give you a call.
Oh, please do so. Please do so. Bring up though the other half of the equation, and truly my hope from the very beginning with launching Nourish was using the products to have a larger platform to speak out on what really matters to me. And as you mentioned in the beginning, my mission is to promote wellness and spread kindness and really share the message that you matter. When my daughter was born, shortly after, I had developed significant postpartum anxiety. It was the most horrific time in my life. Yet it led me to something that changed my life, which was meditation and mindfulness and the idea of self-compassion and self-kindness. And I learned all of these amazing tools. And I think that just in general, people are really hard on themselves. And I know for women too, we're very, very hard on ourselves. And so in learning these tools and learning to offer myself some compassion and some kindness, learning about the word and, right? Learning to say like, this sucks or this is terrible. And, and I wanted to share those messages. I wanted to share those tools. And I'm fortunate in growing kind of our Instagram and our social followings, whether people like it or not. I'm sharing those messages. And fortunately, people do like that, but people need to hear that, right? That you matter and that we need your gifts and we need your talents in this world. And we need you to be uniquely you, however, perfectly imperfect you are. So that to me, with Nourish, as we grow, I would love for someone to come on and really take over the product side of the business so that we can focus on kind of our social impact. To me, that's the most important thing. And I was invited as a social entrepreneur to speak to nonprofits a few months ago about using your business for good in the world. And to me, that was such a highlight moment, and really felt like that vision, was in front of me now, right? That we can use our business to make the world a better place. And so that's when I say I'm having the time of my life, like I have goosebumps right now, thinking that this is what I get to do. I get to pour into people and hopefully encourage them.
Total bam moment that, drop your mic. No, you might break, but beautifully said. I'm glad we recorded this because that you said goosebumps. I said I was thinking to myself, I'm getting chills just listening to it.
Yes.
And I feel like
you have that power, right? What you do matters, David, right? You are lifting others. You're giving people platforms to share who they are, what they're doing. I see tremendously how you are helping others rise and you're connecting people. When we knew each other for maybe 30 minutes, when we got off the phone, you immediately sent 2 messages, to connect me to some other women in a similar space. And one, you were like hooking me up to be BFFs with a billionaire, right? And your message to her was, you need to know Jamie, right? Like, who does that? You do that. And we need people like you. So thank you.
Jamie, I promised myself I wouldn't cry today. Damn you. Very sweet. Yeah. Well, and you deserve it though. So I'm very, very happy with your success. I'm very happy that you were born. You're doing great things in this world. That you're helping people, and I love that the products is, only a platform to do even more of what you want to do. I feel like you should have T-shirts made up that say "You matter." you know,
On it.
maybe
Come on, watch out for our merch.
little
Yeah.
little Nourish logo on the sleeve or something. But
Yeah.
the 1-2 punch. But Jamie, this has been super, super, super fantastic. I do want to encourage people to get in touch with you and learn more. Give us all the details again, his website, email, any other social media, any other ways that people can find you and get in touch with you.
Absolutely. So thank you for that opportunity. The website, nourishnaturalproducts.com. We offer free shipping on every order every day. But then our social handles, we are very active on Instagram and Facebook. Our handle is at Nourish Natural Products. And I am always on our messages. So if you want to reach out to me, you absolutely can do it there. Or my email, that's the easy one to remember, is jamie.nourish@gmail.com.
Actually, you don't want to use your last name?
No. Maybe AZ, right? A to Z.
Yeah, for those of you that look her up, you'll see it is for, I'm going to say it again, Jamie Andrzejewski.
That's right. 12 letters. Scott and I have been married, I think 13 years, and I just learned how to spell it.
That's good. Yeah, people ask me, I say, I'm calling, can I leave a message here? What's your name? Dave Mamano. And they say, can you spell Mamano? I'm like, no, I'm still working on it. Still working on it.
I love it.
Almost there.
Right? But infusing that type of joy and laughter into someone's day, good on you.
Gotta make people.
Yes.
You gotta take it by surprise.
Have fun. Mm-hmm.
Well, Jamie, thanks again. Really appreciate your time. And once again, sharing your heartbeats with me today. Truly appreciate it. Wish you continued massive success.
It's been an absolute privilege. I just really enjoy spending time with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks again. I know we're going to keep in touch. And I also want to thank the Gonzo family for listening to this episode. Please share it. If you like this episode, tell the world about it. Would love if you posted and shared it and liked us on everything, the whole works. If you're on iTunes, please like us, review us, rate us, all that good stuff. But thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Gonzo family. Wishing you all massive, massive success, and make sure to stay awesome.